Good morning, everyone. Today is Sunday, and Rick and we're going to be leaving here to go to church shortly. And wow, was this ever a busy weekend. Most of the day on Friday, I was with Marika and her mom, and we were making salsa, and yeah, we made a ton of salsa. And then yesterday was baby Ben's birthday. So anyways, I will talk to you in just a little while, and yeah, I hope you want to stick around. Hello again, everyone. We're home from church, and I'm going to grill up a couple hamburgers here, and yeah, it's a beautiful day here. It is not too hot and it is not too cold, and it's, yeah, kind of perfect all around. But yesterday was an even more perfect day, if there is such a thing. But we celebrated Benjamin's first birthday. So I thought I would share with you some of the highlights. And I hope that you all have had a wonderful weekend and have a very blessed day. And I'll talk to you in just a little while. For today's devotion, I am going to be reading from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 and 5. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It's not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. Henry Drummond was a Christian missionary during the 19th century who wrote a little book called The Greatest Thing in the World, in which he discusses the concept of love being the most important ingredient in achieving and in living a successful life. He compares verses 4 to 7 in 1 Corinthians 13 to that of light passing through a prism and being separated out into its various colors, sort of like a color wheel. He says as the various colors of the spectrum all work together to make white light, these verses describe how love in its many parts is like a rainbow of actions that all work together to make true agape love. And that when we leave out one of the spectrums of love, we damage the cause of Christ and we lose our credibility and our witness. Today's Bible verse tells us that love is not rude, or in other words, love does not act unbecomingly. Unbecomingly or rude would include any behavior that violates acceptable, biblical, or even social standards. Love is always considerate of others. even when in our eyes they may not deserve it. And 1 Corinthians informs us how many of the people in Corinth were overindulging. Some were even getting drunk on the communion wine. Some of the women, they were overstepping their bounds and they were trying to usurp the role of the men in the church. And that both the men and the women were corrupting the worship services by trying to outdo one another in their spiritual gifts. It appears that the Corinthians were justifying their rude behavior, but rudeness betrays a lack of love and is always damaging to effective ministry. For example, I've seen Christians behave so rudely towards someone who smoked that they destroyed their own testimony by their rude behavior. However, today I want to tell you about the experience that the young couple that my husband married just this past March in our church had last week. The young man was at the grocery store, the only grocery store in town, I might add, where 3 ladies decided to tell him that he was going to hell because he has tattoos. But let me read you what she wrote on her Facebook page. To the 3 older ladies that decided to jump my husband at the grocery store and tell him he's going to hell because he has tattoos, I pray that your life is free of sin and that you felt it was your responsibility to judge someone and cast that stone. You don't know the struggle that my husband has faced, and the fact that he's found comfort and believes in God is a miracle in itself. There are many Christians in this world with tattoos. I'm sure these 3 judgmental women have never sinned. It's sad living in a small town where just about everyone knows everyone, and there's only one church in our town that has not judged us. We love our church and our church family as they have never judged us. So for all my Facebook friends that wish to come to a church where you're accepted and can worship and be part of a family, I'll see you at Sandy Lake Alliance Church on Sunday. Please know that I am not telling you this to lift up my husband or my church, but to emphasize how very important it is to love and never act unbecomingly or rude. We all have a story. We all have a past. Perhaps if our sins were tattooed on our body for everyone to see, we would be kinder and more considerate and loving to those that we don't know. We don't know at all. And with that, I want to remind you, life happens. Let's enjoy it. And considerate behavior demonstrates godly love and acts responsibly and is a credible witness. So be aware of how you treat others, whether they're believers or unbelievers. We have the ability to make a profound impression for either the good or evil. God bless, and I will talk to you tomorrow.